We're all sinners here. And we don't know him like we ought, and we don't trust him like we ought, and we don't treasure him the way he deserves to be treasured. So what stands in the way? What's the main obstacle to knowing Christ's supremacy? And the biblical answer to that is clear. The main obstacle to knowing Christ's supremacy is the absolutely just and holy wrath of God. We can't know God in our sin because the wrath of God rests on us in our sin. What we deserve from God is not knowledge of God, but judgment of God. And since we're cut off from the knowledge of God and the wrath of God, we're cut off from purity, we're cut off from holiness. All the planets are out of order, no matter how secure and successful you feel. God doesn't owe us purity, he owes us punishment. And therefore we are hopelessly depraved and condemned, except for one thing. Christ redeemed us by the curse, from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. As it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree. God hates sin, and his wrath is infinite against sin. And we're all stamped and defined by sin. And God demands perfection. Be perfect. Your Father in heaven is perfect. You must be perfect. Nothing short of perfection enters my presence. And so there rests on us demands we cannot meet and a curse we cannot bear. And Christ says to his Father, may I? Because the Father had already made a covenant of redemption with the Son. You shall. And the gospel, it is the foundation of this conference. It's your only hope. The gospel is that Jesus Christ came into the world and bore the wrath of God, the curse. Galatians 3:13, one of the most precious verses in the Bible. He became a curse for us. And he performed a righteousness for us, perfect, which we never could perform, which is now, by faith alone, imputed to you, so that you may be united to this perfect Christ, him bearing all the curse, him providing all the perfection, and know paradise is open. I can know him. I could begin to grow in knowing him. I could actually begin to enjoy him. He's not against me anymore. In fact, the wrath of God has been so totally absorbed by Jesus, and the perfection that I must produce has been so totally produced and provided by Jesus, that now only one thing governs God's attitude to me, and that is mercy. All that I experience, all my pain and all my pleasures are mercy, 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 everything working together for my good. And therefore, paradise is open to me, and I can begin to see him, know him, study him, enjoy him, grow in him, and find the satisfaction of my soul that he was meant to be. The best gift of the gospel is not the forgiveness of sins. The best gift of the gospel is not the imputed righteousness of Jesus Christ. The best gift of the gospel is not eternal life. The best gift of the gospel is seeing and savoring the supremacy of Jesus himself. That's the best gift of the gospel. And we had no access to that joy until he took our place.